Hello and welcome to Frank's School. This is the 157th day of the 5th year first video. I'm going back to my imaginary movie Resurrection. And in a sense, this is a heartfelt plea to find an artist or artists. They are needed. I need them for my purposes. It's got to be a particular kind of artist. And if it's not you, maybe you know somebody. It's a long shot, but that's where I've come to. I need an artist or artists to do a storyboard for Resurrection, the movie. I was looking into it. I made a similar, not exactly plea, but it was what, months ago, March 23rd. This is now the end of November of this year, that I said much the same things that I'll say now, but I'm kind of stopped. Now, in the time that's passed since then, Trump has been elected. To me, he's like Mammon personified. And if any of you don't know who Mammon is, he's sort of the almost god of wealth and greed and money. I think in German, Mammon is actually used sometimes to mean money. I mean, he's been elected. Consumerism is, in a sense, I might say, my great enemy. The planet's great enemy, Gaia. I refer to the planet as our mother Gaia. And Black Friday this year has just passed, and it was a big success. I mean, so consumerism is stronger than ever. Trump, consumerism, Black Friday. And I've been arguing, and I firmly believe, that the myth of success, or the myth of what is good, needs to change. The myth or the paradigm. And how do you change that? And that's what Resurrection is all about. And if you went to the playlist, it's very long. I mean, it's almost 30 videos long, because I describe this movie bit by bit by bit. And I have had, there's one person, my apprentice Matthew, actually said he watched the whole playlist. I said, "You watched the whole thing?" He says, "Yeah, it was long." But I was talking to him about my need. I think I may start talking to everybody about this, that I need an artist. I simply cannot do it. It has to be a visual artist who doesn't only draw what he or she sees, but what he or she can imagine. I was just down to Washington, D.C. to visit my daughter, and I, for me, living on this farm all the time, to go into a world like that, it's into that whole world of consumerism and power. Long and long ago, 50 years ago almost, or not quite that, 45 years ago, I referred to Washington as the city of power. And I don't only mean this kind of power. I mean the use of power, electricity, gasoline. Anyway, and I realized that of the people that I was seeing to, the people that I was talking to, they may not be happy. They're certainly not happy with Trump, but they don't feel the same desperation to change the paradigm. I think so many people, although they complain and they worry, oh, the planet, the atmosphere, they don't want to give up what they have, because basically they have it pretty good. So it's a long shot to find a person that not only has the skill, but is also willing to make the commitment, and somebody who wants to change this myth, wants to, and believes maybe it could be done, or at least he or she is willing to try his or her best to make the change occur. There was a guy, I think it was this morning or last night on television. He was a rap artist, I think, a singer, Tribe. I didn't remember his name, but he was being interviewed for political purposes, and I thought, aha, an artist is coming forth because back at the very beginning of that playlist, I proposed that artists, it's not going to take a man like Trump or Hillary Clinton. They're politicians. It's going to take the artists to change the myth of the time. Writers like Robinson Crusoe, the author of Robinson Crusoe, set up a paradigm for his time. But anyway, I talk about all of that in the storyboard. And if you go, in the playlist, and if you'd go to Resurrection, the playlist, and start at the beginning, especially that first one, although the light's not good, there's where I try to explain what I'm doing. Well, a reminder that, and if you would go to this, I guess this is in the playlist, 5th year, 92nd video, 92nd day, first video. Right there is where I actually say some of these same things. That 5th minute, 50th second. There's where I address the matter of needing the storyboard. I'm not completely stopped, because I understand movies can be made even without storyboards. But a storyboard is, in this particular case, an opportunity. It could be the end product, because there are no words in this movie. I want to remind you that there are no words, so there's no matter of writing out text. You might call it, it could be done in comic book style, and it's not so much comic, but the images would be able to tell the entire story. It could be done as a slideshow on YouTube, and it could even have a soundtrack, background music that wasn't the same as a soundtrack in a movie, but showed how you could use leitmotifs and themes together with the slideshow. It could be done. I'm quite sure it could be done. And another thing, you know, if the artist, I mean, people don't just give away their efforts and their time and their work, you know. And if they have to live, I mean, they have to be paid something. And I rather think that after Act 1, if it were done in something like I'm imagining online, the effort could be supported by subscriptions. And I actually think online might be the best of all ways to do this now, because to change a myth, it's got to be good, and you've got to reach a lot of people, and that could be done. I still am planning a trip. Now I'm planning a trip to Portugal, which is the setting for this. Although I should also say that the setting could be almost any place in the world. The setting, which means also that an artist beginning to draw this, the 9 characters, the background could wait. He or she could leave the background just all faded out, and show what the characters are doing, and draw it in as he decides where to, or she decides where to put it. But in any case, I still imagine, of the places I know, Portugal is the best that I know, the deserted villages in the mountains of central Portugal. And I now am fairly sure that I'll be going there in September. I thought maybe March of this coming March, but I think September. And Portugal and the Alps, I spent a lot of time describing that trip. But the part that would be before typical people might decide to join me would be me and one friend who speaks Portuguese, driving around for about 4 days in the mountains, searching for the best location, of which we would then photograph a lot of or film. So that still goes on. I can do that. I actually, in desperation, mentioned this to my wife, and I said, boy, I just need an artist or artists. And she had the suggestion. She said, well, maybe contact an art school, senior projects. I don't know, the enormity of it, though. I mean, it would be a huge commitment to do it well. But then, as I suggest, it could be done little by little. All right, well, I hesitated to launch into this, but I'm feeling a bit passionate about it. I just can't wait forever. And as I say, I'm not going to stop my efforts, but I need the right artist or artists that might be willing to commit. Bye for now.